Hey, Mike.
Hi, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well.
Great. It's good to hear. We're going to go ahead and start whenever you're ready.
Yes, so this account is going to be used by one of my students. So I want to log in from my PC.
Okay, no problem.
Yes.
Okay, are they ready?
You ready?
Hi.
Yeah.
All right, so I go now.
Okay, let's go ahead and begin. You guys have the first speech on the socialism one.
Oh, I go. Okay.
Tom, go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, it's your guys' speech first, so go ahead.
Okay, we want to wait for some few people to join
Okay.
in.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, just a few minutes.
Okay. So why don't you tell us a little bit about where you're located in Uganda?
Excellent. So we are located in one of the biggest refugee settlements called the Changwari Refugee Settlement in Western Uganda. And this is where we are right now. So this is a refugee settlement and we actually have no schools running right now. So it was heads up, just finding people to join in. So I was able to get a few individuals who are going to be part of this evening.
Okay.
And then, yeah, we shall have this start the debating club off the ground, and then to be growing slowly.
And
Yes, and I think most of the schools will reopen next year, January. So we have no schools because of national lockdowns.
oh, wow. Okay, now
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about the work that you're doing with the refugees. How many people are you serving and how many students are there and stuff like that? Because a lot of people may not know.
Yes. So right now we are trying to redesign refugee education, and actually we are developing a spectrum campus of design, and it is going to serve both refugees and the host community. So currently we have the school has enrolled already 45 students, and this is our first batch of students, but this is going to grow next year because as we start in January, we shall have a complete development plan for the new campus that we envision that is going to provide STEM and design educational services to both the refugees and host communities in Uganda. So we intend to serve all refugee settlements in Uganda and move beyond. This is because this is going to act as an education model for even the government of Uganda and also the refugee community.
That's very good. You're doing excellent work. What's causing all the refugees? What's the refugee situation there? Why are the people leaving their country?
Well, I think there is continued conflict within their home country, especially Democratic Republic of Congo, South Sudan, and Somalia. So those are the most countries that we host refugees from. And the countries have not been able to stabilize for quite a long time, and refugees have been in a protracted situation for even 20 years. So I think they get relief when they are resettled by UNHCR. Western countries.
Wow, that's amazing.
And I think each year we, the government of Uganda enrolls, actually now Uganda hosts, so currently we have more than 1.5 million refugees, and these are the people we want to reach with our education model that we are developing. Actually, maybe I will be able to introduce you to ENSO Education Institute, which is trying to mentor our project. And they are located in California, and the founder of ENSO Education Institute is called Dr. Martin Rayara, and is my mentor. And actually, this project is going to be featured in Dubai 2022 Expo.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I had no idea. So you're saying there's 1.5 million refugees from the Democratic Republic of Congo in Uganda right now? And how many are they? How many would be school age?
Actually in Uganda we have more than hundreds of thousands of refugees who qualify for high school, And why is it so? It's because high school and university are chronically neglected. I think only around 11% of refugees who graduate from primary school are able to join high school. And this is because most of the places near or within the refugee settlements do not have access to secondary education or high school education. So every year, the batches of students who graduate are not enrolled for higher education or university.
Oh, wow.
So it becomes a big number. Yes.
Okay, we got some more people coming.
Yes.
Okay. But when do you think all your speakers will be here? Okay. You know, we're streaming this live as well, and we're recording it. So I was wondering if you have a time estimate on when you could be ready. Did it break up, or can you hear me okay?
Sorry. Mike.
Yes.
Yes, you can get started. You can introduce the students to the program.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, we'll go ahead. We'll go ahead and introduce our students, and you can introduce your students as they show up. We'll start with Christoph here. Christoph, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I will be today for this topic.
And Chris is in the 11th grade, and then he's going to be joined by two other people. Natalia, could you come over here and introduce yourself?
So Mike.
Hello, I'm Natalia.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Yes, Mike.
Yes.
We have a different way. Yes, we have a different way of naming classrooms and grades in Uganda. So they may not understand if you, in comparison with Uganda, they may not understand what's grade 2, what's grade 12, or actually they don't understand the K-12 system. I think what they understand correctly is that we have secondary school.
Okay, yeah. They would be in the third form.
Yeah. Cool.
And this is Natalia, and she's in the third form. And then we have one student, Alondra, and she's in the first form.
Okay, so we're gonna meet about 3 people.
Yeah, you're gonna meet. Well, you have about 40 people watching, but 3 people are gonna talk.
Oh, yeah.
And then for the homework debate, we have another group of about 6 people. And this is Alondra, and she's in the first form.
Okay.
Okay, and then I can introduce the people from the homework debate. If everybody comes over here who's doing homework, please. Yeah, this is Ara, and she's in the first form. She's going to be doing one of the homework debate. This is Liz, and Liz is in the third form.
Hi.
And this is Nita, and she's in the first form.
Hi.
And then this is Floyd, and Floyd's in the first form too. Second form, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And then I have one other girl that's doing legal studies right now in the other room, and she's going to be coming in. She's in the fourth form.
Oh.
So
Nice
you're gonna see quite a few people. Just see 3 people for the first one and probably 5 or 6 for the second one. To just break it up a little bit.
Okay. Wow. I gonna introduce my team and we have okay. Can I go on?
Yes, go ahead.
Excellent. Okay. So we have Labong Kevin, wave. Can you wave, Kevin?
Okay.
Labong
Yeah,
Kevin. If you can see us, wave. So that's Labong Kevin and yes, she's in senior 4 and that's form 4 here in Uganda. Excellent. So we have God, Teofile, she's also, so Labong Kevin, she's a refugee from South Sudan. And then we have Teofile God in Form 2, a refugee from Democratic Republic of Congo. Can you wave? Yes. Well, you can wave to the camera. Okay. And then we have Rahab. Can you introduce your team? And because Yushime Rahab has a group seated with them on the same Zoom camera. So she can also introduce them to us.
Hi.
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 Yeah, Tushime Rahab alongside Giseline Kurunziza. Yeah, she's in Form 1 as I'm in Form 2.
Wow.
The country of origin, Rahab?
Yeah, I'm from Democratic Republic of Congo.
And I'm from Burundi.
Oh, wow. Burundi. Rwanda. Yeah, you have like an international group of people there. I think you
Yes.
recruited all these people from all over the place and they heard about your great school. This is really nice that they're getting this opportunity.
Yes.
You should be congratulated. Not everybody could put together such a august body of people from all over Africa there. That's really nice. Who's going to be your first speaker?
Yes. So this is, yes, actually. This is the first team that is gonna create the first debating club and host from this region. Okay, we can kick off.
Okay.
So Mike, you wanna guide us how it's gonna go,
Okay.
and then yes.
Yeah. Normally what we do is have one speech and then the other people will give a speech and then you can ask each other questions and then we'll have another speech and you have a speech and we'll ask each other questions. And then we can just talk a little bit about it and we'll go to the next one, okay? It'll be kind of short today, but at least we'll get everybody started really well. Oh, I forgot, after the second speech and they ask each other questions, they'll say, we won, and give like 3 reasons. And then we'll have another speaker say why they won. And then we can just talk very briefly and we'll go to the second one. It's just it's a good way to have a dialogue and start getting people to think about, problems on other people's parts and stuff. So I think it's a good proposal. So if you could go ahead with your first speech, then Christoph will do our first speech, and then they'll ask each other some questions. Yes. We talked to African. You ready with your first speech? It looks beautiful outside there. Brandy, do you want us to go ahead with our first speech then, and then you can do yours, or would you rather? What? Are you guys ready to go, Brandy?
I think,
Would you
yeah, my network had, yes, I dropped off. My network's not good at all. So we can, I think, I don't know, should we have one side exhaust their resource and then the other side?
Yeah.
I don't know, or one person this side go.
Right, that's what we
And
normally
then the
do.
other,
Yeah.
okay. We can have all my team present and then,
That's fine.
okay, excellent.
Do that.
Okay.
We'll go that way.
Okay. So Rahab, can you go fast, and then we can have Labong Kevin go next, and then we should have Nkurunziza go next, and then we shall have Gad go last. Go ahead, Rahab. So someone dropped off.
Okay. Thanks everyone who is listening to me. I take this opportunity to take all that respect in each one's dignity. I'm Tushime Rahab, here for a debating. I'm here to debate about the motion that says, is socialism good? According to me, I say socialism is good due to the following views. Socialism reduces poverty. When I talk about socialism reduces poverty, here I mean like socialism for those people who do high, before I even go to explain the points, because you may not be knowing the meaning of socialism. Socialism, this is when the government takes in role of every resource and brings back to distribute to the community. So when I talk about socialism, when I say it reduces poverty, here I mean like for those ones who earn a lot of income, sometimes they reduce on their income on taxes. For example, in their tax, they reduce on their income, and then it is imposed on other people who don't earn, and then like they distribute, the government buys food and other stuff, and then the people who don't have money, and then they come in and receive the food, and then that's hence reducing poverty. As follows, it says, socialism improves the conditions of people. Take an example, after taxing those people who earn highly, the government comes in buys, for example, drugs and other drugs, maybe basic needs for those people can't provide for themselves basic needs, and come behind provide for those people can't buy for themselves drugs, those people can't buy for themselves basic needs. And you find like people's lives, though those people don't work, are those ones who are still down, you find like their lives are still standard, they're still on high standards, and yet they don't work. And then the government taxes for every, take an example, when people who have big companies, and then the government goes on taxes them. After taxing them, comes in, uses that money to construct schools, uses that money to buy textbooks and so other scholastic materials. And this helps different. So according to me, I say socialism is good due to those points that I've given out. And thanks for those answers.
Excellent job. Thank you, Rahab. Okay. We can go ahead and listen from Nkurunziza from Burundi. So go ahead, Nkurunziza.
I'm by names of Nkurunziza Gislin. I'm from Burundi, and I'm here to debate. I'm here to debate in a debate which has a motion says that is socialism good. I say, according to me, it's good. It's good because it reduces hidden taxes, because the government get to tax according to how help themselves. And if you really can't afford anything, of course they can have mercy on you due to that. So I think socialism is good, and it provides when they are taxing, when they tax highly those who earn a lot, that money they use it in different things. Those ones who can't go to school, they go to school freely. Those ones who can't have medical care, they receive their medical care freely without any kind of charge. So I think it's a 100% good. Thank you for those who have listened to me.
Thank you, Nkurunziza. So we're gonna go ahead and listen from LeBon Kevin, and she dropped off. I think that's the challenge. We always have 3G network in Uganda, and it has to switch to 2G, sometimes 3G, and then back to 3G. So she dropped off, and I cannot see her live. So gonna go ahead and call God to share his views about socialism. Go ahead, God.
Socialism.
Hi.
Because if I talk about
You're good. I can hear you.
okay, I'm by names of Gadi David, and I want to propose a motion which states that is socialism good, and indeed socialism is good due to the following views. The first one given the opportunity to pursue, it has given the opportunity to citizens to pursue their goals. Here, I mean, they get free services like advanced education, like hospitals, healthcare that indeed lead them to a standard of living since they don't put much money, but can lead them maybe to a lot of resources and hence leading to standards of living. We can talk about it reduces the risk of price fixing. Here we can talk about the government. Actually, the government is the one which sets the price for a certain commodity as far as business men are concerned. So if we talk about this, it favors both parties. It reduces also exploitism as poor people and wealthy ones, they all share the same services without anything like segregation. Yeah, I can say maybe for my have money and maybe another one does not have. So the government tries to equalize the money, it tries to equalize the resources so that also those ones who are not capable to get the money can also get the services freely. We can talk about the citizen. The citizen have the right to develop or declare their violated properties. Here, I mean, in case for instance, a citizen and they don't have maybe that response or maybe that capacity of the government. Here I'm talking about capitalism unlike socialism. For instance, I'm a person and I've been violated by resources. So I'm able to go to the government and I declare for my resources without relying that maybe I'm poor, I'm known. So I have that right to go and declare my resources. So another thing, there is free markets. Here about these businessmen who have free market, they don't use market research cost, or that it is the work of the government to provide them with free markets as far as the government policies are concerned. We can talk about the government work or maybe the government responsibility. The government is able to set minimum wages for salary to avoid exploitation of what. I mean, when for take an example, the salary of a certain work is, let's say, $40. Here I mean that whether you're a low worker or a higher worker, the price is not going to diminish or maybe to decrease, maybe if they rely on maybe I'm poor, I cannot manage. So the government is trying to fix that salary for everyone to avoid exploitation of workers. With those few, I remain on my legs proposing this motion that socialism is good. I thank to everyone.
Excellent work. Thank you, Mr. God. We have had much God and yes, we're gonna go ahead and hear from Labong Kevin. I think she's Labong Kevin, go ahead and mute yourself, and we would like to hear from you.
My name is Labong Kevin, and as Dad has spoken, we are going to talk about the topic of socialism good, and I am a pro of socialism, given the fact that socialism is a populist economic and political system based on the public ownership of means of production, which includes the government having all the materials, including machines, tools, to produce the goods which satisfy human needs directly. So for that reason, I support socialism because it leads to quick development. And again, there is no competition in buying and selling in the market because people have free access to goods. And sometimes competition becomes like unhealthy to the public. Not that everyone can go into competition and they compete very well. Again, I say socialism is good because there is equality among the citizens. Everyone gets equally. For example, in a socialism country like China, the Chinese, they support each other. The one earning high income, the income is then redistributed to the ones earning low so that they can get everything equal. Because workers, everyone has to work, but not everyone has the ability to work according to his needs. We all have needs, but not all of us have the ability to work and get what we want. Again, I support socialism because there is equal distribution of goods and services. It is the government to consider what to be given to the certain area, given the fact that if in a city there is much wealth and there are good services, yet deep in the village there is nothing, and to take in part and support those in the village because we have to be equal in all levels of socialism. So from that point of socialism, and I always stand a pro of socialism. Then again, we can say that citizens are able to get all the social needs. In terms of health, we have food and everything. If are able to, what if they're not given, they may not be able to earn, especially the poor people, given the fact that they can work and get good medical services. They can have the money because they get billions of money. They can themselves buy food and again get medical facilities. Yet the poor is also there, have maybe some health complications, but cannot make it to the so with tourism, it is possible for the government to cater for all, depending on the needs which are there. And improvement is there so much as the government does not work to profit, but it is all at the needs of the people to make them equal in all conditions. And again, with that, and people and depending on each other. There is independent.
Kevin, your bandwidth is too low, so it breaks up the voice. Yes, your network seems to be not good. So it's like, are you the place where you are? I think we got the first points, but I think when coming to the last, what you shared last, we didn't pick anything. But I think you can push out your last view, and then we get things moving. So go ahead and reshare your last view, and then you get the work done. Go ahead.
Have the money and
So Kevin, network is not your friend. Network is not your friend, but I think we had the first important views, and we can wait and see if you can come later. We can throw the ball to Mike's school. We can hear the views from your side, and then we see how it goes. Thank you, Kevin. It was excellent.
Awesome. Now, I'm Christoph Davila from the United States. Today's topic is whether we should adopt socialism. Our position is no. I'm speaker number one. And before I begin, I'd like to give a good quote. It says, because I believe in Thomas Sowell when he said, I never understood why greed. It is greed to want to keep your money that you earn, but it's not greed when you're trying to take someone else's. I think that's a good quote. Now, I also like to define some terms. First, what is socialism, right? What's the big bad wolf? It's when the state takes control of the means of production. An example would be like public school, like you said. Also like to define what capitalism is or what the free market is. It's meaning the private owned businesses are controlled by the business owners. My following arguments are going to be education, authoritarianism, pickiness, and an alternative. So, socialism is the big lie of the 20th century. While it was promised prosperity, equality, and security, it delivered poverty, misery, and tyranny. Equality was achieved only in the sense that everyone is equal in their own misery. I also like to give another quote from Thomas Sowell when he said, socialism is a general of failure, so blatant that only intellectuals could ignore or evade it. Now, for our first argument, education. So you mentioned this. A comparison of mathematic tests showed that private schools scored 18 points higher than public schools, which scored lower. Also, eighth graders who were in private schools scored 8 points higher than the counterpart of public school. Reading these results, we can see that in terms of education, when we're socializing it, we have worse results to kids. Privatization of education leads to better results. You get better test scores, you get people learning, engaging, etc. And I know a lot of people like to mention the test results that you see in other countries, and I'd like to address that. Yes, the U.S. Department of Education estimates that many immigrants that come to this country to get education here, because our education is privatized over there. It's usually public. So yeah. And now my second argument is authoritarianism. So countries who adopt socialism usually turn out to be authoritarian. This is due to the fact when you give the state or the government power over your economy, they go further. There are several countries that are most notable for this. It's the Soviet Union, China, and their allies. And these have all been described as socialist countries by their own citizens and by their own scholars. I shouldn't have to tell you why authoritarianism is bad, but I will do so anyway. Authoritarianism is defined by the dictionary as varying or enforcing a strict obedience to authority, especially that of a government, that expenses a person's freedom. If people want to give up their economic freedom, what makes you think that the government will stop there? Why won't they go any further? So essentially, socialism leads to authoritarianism, and by its nature, it is authoritarianism. Now, the free market allows freedom in the economy, allows people to buy whatever they want, and lets people sell whatever they want, whenever they want. I believe in the words of Anne Rand when she said, if businesses make mistakes, they suffer the consequences. If bureaucrats make mistakes, you suffer consequences. Now, my third argument. Yes, the failure. Socialism also collapsed because of its failure and operation of competitive profit and low systems of accounting. A profit system is an effective monitoring mechanism which continually evaluates economic performance for every business and enterprise. The firm the most effective is the most successful. When it comes to public interest, they're rewarded with profits. Firms that operate inefficiently fail to serve within the public interest and are penalized with losses. By rewarding success and penalizing failure, the profit system provides a disciplinary mechanism, which continually redirects resources away from the weak, failing. Essentially, if you do good in your economy, if you sell good, you buy good. If your business is good, you're going to get rewarded, and if it's bad, you're going to get punished. My last argument is yes, why capitalism is better. So the strength of capitalism can be attributed to the incentive structure based on the three principles. One, prices are determined by market forces. A profit loss system is accounting, and private property rights. The failure of socialism is traced to neglect the three principles. Capitalism will play a major role in the global economy, prosperity, because it nurtures human spirits and inspires human creativity. It promotes a spirit of enterprise, and by powerful systems and active promotes interest like hard work and efficiency, etc. Sorry, I'm in a hurry. Okay, so this is important because the free markets allow people to buy and sell whatever they want freely. Socialism leads to authoritarianism, and free markets lead to better results. There's a lot of free markets all around the world that have better results in education and in businesses and the economy. And I conclude today with saying that in the words of Margaret Thatcher, when she said, the problem with socialism is that eventually you run out of everyone's money. That is all the time I have. Thank you.
Hello, I am Natalia. Do I just start talking? Okay, hello. I am the second speaker on why if socialism is good or not, and I'm on the con side. My terms are socialism. Socialism is a political and economic theory of social organization which advocates that the means of production, distribution, and exchange should be owned or regulated by the community as a whole. Authoritarian, favoring or enforcing strict obedience to authority, especially that of the government, at the expense of personal freedom. Capitalism, an economic and political system in which a country, trade, and industry are controlled by private owners for profit rather than by the state. I'd first like to start with socialism isn't a realistic philosophy because in order to be successful with socialism, you would have to make a system that advocates to all needs for everything. This is proven with the simple facts of what's going on in Venezuela. It is now illegal to list starvation as the cause of death for a Venezuelan child in a hospital. Socialist efforts to fix the death due to starvation is to make it illegal. You might be asking yourself how people are starving under socialist rule, and the reason for is the lack of basic needs. Imagine not having access to buy food for your family or even to find items needed. There are, of course, going to be inequalities in any economic system, but capitalism is the fastest and more effective way to produce innovation and wealth, and therefore jobs. The rich may be getting richer, but the poor are also getting richer. This shows that socialism isn't a realistic philosophy because it's been inevitable to make a system that can advocate to all needs for everything. Then all the other efforts for the socialist experiment have been run, and it inevitably goes authoritarian. The people that get killed are business owners and educated people that worked for their money. The poor are deprived of opportunities and are given enough to survive, but mostly that enough is measured by people empowered that unintentionally or intentionally keep them stuck in cycles of poverty. A modern day example is in Africa, 20% of the entire population is experiencing hunger. Government failure in an ideal world. The government would be successful in regulating, an ideal government would be a government that would be successful in regulating firms, labor markets, and running public industries. However, government intervention is prone to government failure and an inefficient allocation of resources. For example, labor market regulations, such as high minimum wages or maximum working week could lead to unemployment and a lack of flexibility, which firms need to deal with a sudden increase in demand. If firms are highly regulated, it is an extra cost which may discourage investment and lead to lower economic growth. This proves that even though people are contributing and being active members of a society, it simply isn't enough because socialism cannot be realistically obtained. In the end, the idea of socialism sounds great, but when it's actually put to practice, it has been proven to be ineffective. Let's say you're cleaning your house. You don't just sweep the dirt everywhere, you pick it up. Socialism is redistributing, but not growing the economy, just like the dirt on the floor that is redistributed like trash because they can't find a better way to manage with all the dirt that is left. The failure of government is why socialism couldn't be. That's it.
That's our last speaker for this one, and then we could we have a speaker to say kind of a rebuttal speech or why we won. If you want to go first on that, that's fine. And then we can start our homework one. You ready, Yolanda? Yeah. Brandy?
Yes.
Yeah. All we have left now is we just have one speaker to try to do a rebuttal and say why we won. And then we'll go, then you guys can go, and then we can start the one on homework. Okay?
Okay. So I think she can go ahead.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. So like we said, there are many bad things that socialism brings. As we stated, capitalism is better since socialism doesn't really meet everybody's needs. It may sound good and nice, but in reality, it's just ineffective. It's never been a really good socialist government. That's it, yeah. Thank you.
So in other words, socialism wouldn't work because of, like I said, failure of government, lack of consistent resources. In the end, it's all failure of government. Socialism, in order to be successful or successful in all aspects, it would need to advocate or not it would need to have a strong authoritarian government. And okay, but yes, that's it. Thank you.
If you guys got your speech, and then we'll be ready to go for the second debate on homework.
Okay. Go ahead.
Who are you referring to, Brady?
Yes. Why do we need to go for Mike?
Yeah, if we want to, let's just go ahead for time purposes. Let's go ahead with the first speech on your homework one. And then we go our speeches, or you, if you allow us, we'll go first on the homework one, and you can follow us. What would you rather do?
Go fast.
Okay. Who's the first speaker? Go. Okay. Introduce yourself.
Okay. So do I just? Okay. Hello, I'm Floyd. I'll be the first speaker. And I'm on the side that homework is not as useful as people say it is, or the educational system says it is. My first few points will be about how homework takes away a lot of time that could be used for other things. Homework takes a lot of time, or can take even hours a day, and can stack up really easily depending on how much the teachers give. And sometimes it can even be worse, because sometimes teachers don't communicate with each other and give a ton of homework altogether for students to complete in one night. And that can take a lot of time. And I know a lot of students would prefer spending that time just doing their own stuff, or doing hobbies, or even like working perhaps, or developing a project that may really be very significant. On top of that, when teachers don't coordinate to give like minimum amount of homework every night, when it stacks up, sometimes it can even make a student go overnight and finish the homework during the night when they could be sleeping. And this could cause a whole cycle where a student could be sleep deprived, or not have enough sleep during the night, that when they come to school the next morning for that class specifically, they're not in their right state of mind to learn, all from the homework, because they've had too much homework and all. And so even then, when they're not in their right state of mind to learn during the lesson, and then there's homework assigned, for example,
they wouldn't have gotten any information from the lesson due to their bad state of mind, meaning that they wouldn't even be able to complete the homework, possibly. And so this can cause a whole cycle where it keeps stacking up and the homework keeps coming in. And then unfortunately, sometimes a lot of students aren't able to get all the homework done because there's so much coming in and coming out. And then they have to go overnight and then they're not in their right state of mind and they can't learn anything in class. And it's a whole cycle. And so that with taking time from home, I feel like homework, especially when it starts taking in time from class and makes students tired at school and makes their learning less effective and their hours spent at school less effective. I think it's when you can declare homework is too much and it's ineffective, along with all the other things it does, like not even including that it may take away their time, valuable time at school by making them tired, but also the fact that it simply makes them tired and doesn't put the students in the right state of mind, which can affect them much further than just school. And also it takes away a lot of time. There you go.
Hello, I'm Elizabeth, and I will be your second speaker today. Our first main point is that too much homework can be really harmful for students. There was a study done that 59% of students that were given homework and that did homework got the same grade as the students that didn't do homework. And even with that, the students that didn't do their homework actually got higher or the same grade as the students actually did their homework. And it's not all homework isn't beneficial because some students have low income homes where they can't even afford school supplies or they can't afford internet. And then in that way you set up students for failure because they can't afford to get internet to be able to do their homework. And the study has shown that 96.5% of students across the country said that they needed the use of internet for class assignments outside of school, and nearly half reported that there have been times that they were unable to complete homework assignments. Some students don't have internet access or don't have enough money for school supplies to do their homeworks. And with that, you are just setting them up for failure. Another argument that I have is that some homes aren't set up to help their kids. So like some parents can't have the time to help out a student with their homework and try to complete it. Some parents are just too tired or they just don't understand what us kids are learning. And it's not beneficial for them because the kids can't get help. And also the parents don't know how to help each student out. And another one is that there's a lack of evidence that homework helps younger kids. There's a study done in elementary school that measured the standards of test results or grades in the 4th grade, and they roughly got the same grades, but giving them homework at that young of an age doesn't really help them in any way. It kind of just is giving them extra work and not being able to like experience having a childhood and being able to have fun. So in conclusion, with today's words of Ross W. Green, when he said no kid should be getting 3 hours or more hours of homework a night, there should be no breathing time, there's no family time, and there's just extracurriculars and homework. And with that, they don't even have time to be able to go to bed. And then we have our third speaker for a rebuttal.
Okay, so hi, my name is Nita. I'm the third speaker. So today I have like number one, homework improve student achievement. Two, homework help to reinforce learning and develop good student habit and life skills. Number three, homework allow parents to be involved with their children learning. So on number one, for the following, I have three main reasons. Number one, too much homework can be harmful. So a poll of high school students in California found that 59% thought they had too much homework and 82% of the respondents said they were often or always stressed by homework. Number two, homework helped to reinforce learning and develop good student habit and life skills. 41% of U.S. kids live in low-income families, which are less likely to have access to the resource need to complete homework, such as pen and paper, a computer, internet access, a quiet work space, and a parent at home to help. They are also more likely to have to work after school and on weekend or look after younger siblings, leaving less time for homework. Number three, there's a lacking of evidence that homework help younger children. An article published in the review of the educational research report that reported in elementary school homework has no association and with and with actually even again sorry. Number four, extra time in school does not equate to be a better grade. Students in US spend more than 10 hours of extra time in school compared to high school performing countries around the world, but that has not closed that educational gap between those countries and the United States. In some educational areas, the U.S. is even failing in global ranking. This period, the extra time the students are spending in school when it's come to homework or any other form of learning, the quality is much more important than the quantity.
Thank you. Okay, now we go ahead and you can do your speeches, then we have a rebuttal and while we one speech later. And we're visited here by our Chief of Security, Mr. Yancey.
Morning, gentlemen. Just want to say good morning.
Come over here more. I'll sit down a bit. Okay, I'll get the camera up. Okay, that's Mr. Yancey.
Just want to say good morning. Good to see you. You're doing a great job. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, Brandon.
Okay, thank you. Let me talk about the following topic, the next topic, which is homework good to students. So homework, it's like, can talk about like the assignment or the activity which is given to a student or to somebody else to prove that if that person has get something maybe from the content what has been taught, or maybe if that person can be able to do something independently. That's all about homework. And I'm coming to propose that topic with the following views. First, homework engages students to keep them busy, thus avoiding crimes in the society. We can talk about this because if a student or if a person has the homework fulfilled, will not get or maybe won't bother about what is taking place around maybe the society, but just all his or her mind will just focus on the homework which is being given, thus avoiding crimes and the negative things that may happen in the society. The next thing I can talk about, homework provide more time for a student to keep track of the learning process. Here I mean the homework will help a student to keep track because, for example, if, for instance, I don't have a homework to do, it means that for a while I can relax my mind, say that since I don't have homework, it's for the next day to meet the teacher. But if I have a homework, I'll keep track with what is being taught at the school, thus developing my brain skills, or I widen my brain, even though when the teacher is not there, but I just make sure I keep track with the studies affairs. The third thing, it widen, homework widen the brain of a student. Here I mean, a student cannot develop his or her brain or maybe his or her confidence when he has no homework, because it is indeed a real and a great thing to fulfill, because it gives evidence, it widens the brain, because most students, I can take an example, they don't understand, especially when the work is being taught in the class, and most of them, they just listen when they have right or when they have done homework. So I just want that homework is really a great thing to deal with students because it widens the brain of a student, thus fulfilling his or her goals. We can talk about exams and other assignments. Okay, 3, it trains a student to work independently. A student will have an evidence independently when even the teacher is not there, as far as homework is concerned, because he will be busy just there independently. No one do this, but he will say, let me do this for the sake of my academic performance, thus developing skills, thus developing confidence, evidence, as well as experience. Another thing, develop the time management skills. Time management skills mean a student has a homework, will not bother to waste time, count every minute as an important minute as far as concerned, because he will see, now I have the work, I need to fulfill it. So he will not have that time to relax. He's going to focus on the work which has been given by the tutor or maybe by the teacher. So that's why we are saying time management skills is developed. 4, homework children or maybe to concentrate to what is being taught. I don't think if a student has no work to do will focus or maybe will concentrate until way of focusing or maybe forcing that student to focus, it will increase or it will develop his or her mind, thus maybe passing in his or her exams academically and maybe socially, because it will have built something in the mind that I have to do this whether I want. 5, homework help a parent to find out their children's strength and weakness. Take a niece, for example, I'm a student and maybe I've been given a homework. Of course, I'll do it at home. I'll spend all my time maybe our parents when I'm doing the homework. And indeed, when a parent sees that maybe I'm just falling somewhere, I'm stuck somewhere, just the parent will also know that either I'm weak or maybe I'm strong. So that one also facilitates a parent to know children's weaknesses and strength. We can talk about encouraging discipline of practices. Here, I mean, a student can't practice something when does not have that particular thing. So when a student has a homework to fulfill, it will give him or her that skill or maybe that capacity to feel that I have also to fulfill something. He will be practicing. And I don't think if you don't practice something, you are going to make it actually. So that is why we are saying discipline of practice. So if we practice, we can make it. So those are few of my views. I thank for everyone to listen to my views. Thank you.
That was very good. Brandy, do you have some more speakers?
Yes, Rahab and Nkurunziza, they can conclude and then we go. You can go ahead, Rahab. Can you turn on your video? Cool. Go ahead. Good.
Both ends. Introduction. Yeah. It helps if a parent can work and maybe he's at work, but he already knows my child to do his or her homework. Will stay media go have the education sector move on, all those things. The child to do homework, and it really requests a parent to come in. A parent is really always in, like, child in doing the homework. So that point, it really encourages that discipline in which way? Because when a child has homework, will not get time bad things. Or high intention is, so you find like that discipline is highly one is it helps the child to manage time. After like this debate, I have a homework. Obviously, from here, I'll just run in my books. And like I'm just up and down. I have not given time to books, any other thing. As soon as debate or any other thing is done, and then the other point says homework. Take an example, when at school we learn some things, the teacher says maybe I mean, check what the teacher taught. The other point says homework helps to understand each child. You find like, take an example. Up like this child is weak in mathematics, let me help. But when there's homework, you find out like when you have done things wrongly, comes back home, you're ready. The subject, maybe what I can do, I can help this child to understand more about this subject, so that by the time when exams come, the child should be able to do all the best in the exams. So with all those points, I support that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Brandy, do you have another speaker?
We have one more last.
Okay, good, thanks.
Proposing the motion which says homework isn't good. No, homework is really good because it allows comfortable place for studying. Like as a child, you give yourself some time. You give your time. You give yourself time. Come back. Go study. But when you have homework, you rush. You have to know that I have to do my homework, and of course, when you know in what you know and what you really don't know, so you find new things, and it makes you like at times you but seen it before, you go deep and week, 2 weeks, not a month. Just 100%. Thanks to those who have listened to me.
So Mike, I'm thankful to all the participants from your side, and I thank everyone who has participated from the side of Uganda on behalf of Spectrum Campus of Design and Refugees in Uganda. It has been excellent. So Mike, go ahead and brief us. What next?
We're going to go ahead and we have two speeches real quick. Ara's going to speak and then Natalia's going to speak. Ara?
Hello, I'm Arwa, and I'm going to be saying the rebuttal. So you guys would think that homework helps students achieve their goals, but we're arguing that it can be like too much for them and harmful. A poll of high school students in California found that 59% thought they had too much homework. 82% of the respondents said that they were often or always stressed by schoolwork. We also would argue that homework helps to reinforce learning and develop good study habits and life skills. But homework disadvantages low-income students. 41% of the US kids live in low-income families, which are less likely to have access to resources needed to complete work, such as pens and papers and computers, internet access, a quiet working space, and a parent at home to help. They are also more likely to have to work after school and on the weekends, or look after younger siblings, leaving less time for the homework. You might just say homework allows parents to be involved with their child's learning, but there is a lack of evidence that homework helps younger children. An article published in the Reviews of Educational Research reported that in elementary school, homework had no associations with achievement gains when measured by standardized test results or grades. Thank you.
Hello. So in the end, I would just like to say that homework is
Go to your story part. Say homework is not help.
okay. Homework is not beneficial because if you don't know the context or you don't know what you're learning about, like how you guys said, in order to practice makes perfect, or whatever in whatever words you put it, practice makes perfect, but you will not be able to perfect your practice if you don't understand what you are practicing. In other words, you are practicing to become worse or mediocre at something rather than having a guided way of learning. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's pretty much all from our end, Brainy. We really do appreciate the opportunity today. And I think even fighting through some technical difficulties and everything, it's a real good dialogue to begin to get people to start thinking. And also to realize, that you can be living anywhere on the earth and some of the same problems that kids facing are going to be the same problems. It really doesn't, hunger can be here in the United States, hunger could be in Africa, homework could be there. And I know you guys have to have a tremendous amount of issues with homework because if many people are coming without just clothes or anything else, the process of homework just becomes more tedious as well. So I really do appreciate this. And then come in January when you start up, we'd really like to try to do something every week we could, or we wouldn't even mind trying to do some more before the end of the year. Let's just get back with each other and try to see what you want to work out. Because I really appreciate all the work that you're doing there. And I think it's a real good testament to some brilliant planning, and there's a real need to help people.
Well, I am also thankful from your side, and thank you for organizing all this. I think you've coordinated this well, and you followed up, and I think my students are happy to participate and also have more engagement with Valle High School. And come 2022 January, we shall have we shall be able to enroll into the first FVC courses, so that our students continue to open up their minds and become so that they can be global scholars, not just local scholars. So this is what, yes, this is what Spectrum plans to plant into the mindset of children.
Now, you begin another email from me. We're having our food for thought every month, and the one for November is November the 1st. It's Monday, and it's 11 GMT. But you can watch it, and you'll be getting recipes from all over. We got recipes from Pakistan, Taiwan, India, and you could, if you want to just watch, that would be great as well. That'll be our next one. And then if we want, and then I'll ask you at that time if you want to try to do another one of these. We would love to do some debates about the internet and some other social media, and see how much of the issue social media may be in Africa as well as in the United States. I just got a feeling some issues are pretty universal, and you know, it makes people look at things a lot differently when they find out that that's not the only people on earth that have the same problems. So thank you very much, and we'll try to end today then, okay?
Okay.
Bye. Thank you.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you so much.
Thank
See you
you
again.
Bye.